He's crisscrossing the country, getting his message out, trying to convince voters why he's the best man to occupy the Oval Office. His latest stop, the Hawkeye State. North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum committed to staying the course, saying, quote, "We're sticking to our mission of beating Joe Biden in 2024, not generating insults. Cable news headlines are clickbait. Those are distractions, and they don't help the American people."
Well, he's taken some time from the campaign trail to join us. We welcome back in North Dakota Governor and 2024 presidential candidate Doug Burgum. Governor, welcome back. You know, the polls still say that you are behind, but candidates in a position like yourself usually try something earth-shaking to get some attention. Do you have anything interesting planned?
Well, Emma and Sean, as we say, we're staying the course here. We know that when we're out talking to people in New Hampshire and Iowa, they're concerned about the things that matter to all American people. And right now, you know, top of the list, inflation, number one. I mean, this is just not cutting into people's ability to put food on the table and gas in the car. It's so corrosive. The Biden inflation is literally like reaching into their savings account, stealing their future. And then, of course, China is a hot topic everywhere we go. We're in a Cold War with China. We're in a cyber war with China. We're not talking about that enough at all, about the impacts of what that's going to be on us generationally. And then the border, which, of course, I was getting just down there 3 weeks ago with North Dakota troops. We've got 2 deployments down there. But when you've got the equivalent of 6 states, you were reporting on it earlier in this show, but take Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Delaware, Joe Biden's home state, throw in Montana. That gets you to 6 million people. That's how many people, asylum seekers, have come across illegally into our country since Joe Biden took office.
The border, undoubtedly something that needs to be top of mind, at least for any leader or the next incoming president here. At least at this moment, doesn't seem like the biggest concern, if you will, by this administration, by the DHS secretary, et cetera. I wanted to get specific with you. Typically, each candidate is going to pick a topic and they're going to run with it, right? You mentioned inflation, the economy, running on that platform. You recently put out a campaign ad, and obviously this doesn't overarch your entire campaign, but what you talked about is China and the threat of China and being tough on China. But you also talked about this. You said that you would rebuild our military. What did you mean by that?
Well, it's pretty simple. I think we had too many discussions, even during the last debate. More money to Ukraine, less money to Ukraine. I kind of view that like bigger than a bread box, smaller than a bread box. The real question we have to ask ourselves is, why did Putin feel like he could invade Ukraine in the first place? Well, he did because he knew that there weren't deterrents in place that would stop him. He knew that he would be better off if he did financially than if he didn't. We have to, with the Biden administration, whether it's cozying up to Iran, allowing them to move towards having nuclear weapons, a regime that's goal is to destroy America, destroy Israel. And now with Taiwan, I mean, so we greenlight Putin's invasion into Ukraine, in part because we let all of Western Europe get dependent on Russian energy. We should be selling energy to our friends and allies, not buying it from our enemies. But if the Biden administration says, oh, we might get Harpoon missiles, which are anti-ship missiles, which could sink Chinese ships, we might get them to Taiwan in 2026 or 2027. That's greenlighting China to move now. The CCP said, why would we wait till they have Harpoon missiles? We should be getting Harpoon missiles to Taiwan today and then announcing tomorrow they're already there. So deterrents only work. You win a Cold War when you're economically strong, when we win on innovation, and when you put deterrents in place. And the Biden administration is 180 degrees wrong on the economy, on energy, and on national security. And those 3 issues are all completely intertwined.
You know, sir, we've seen some recent polling out, and it has not been favorable for the current president of the United States. Even CNN polls don't have him in the greatest light. When it comes to your effort to reach those independent voters or those undecided voters, what's your plan to do so? Are you hoping to sort of gain ground not only with Republicans, but perhaps Democrats as well?
Well, I think the focus that we have right now is on Republican primary voters in Iowa and New Hampshire. These are the 2 states where the people invest so much time. They come multiple times. You have lunch, you go to their homes, you meet them in their backyards, you come to small county events, and they really get to understand who the candidates are, not just through a soundbite that they might see on television or a TV commercial. And I just want to say to the voters that in the early states, they have played such an important role. They're actually out there screening candidates. They understand who's got the career in the private sector, like myself, 30 plus years of building value for shareholders, partners, and customers, leading global companies, understanding what small business owners go through. They understand what it's going to take in this changing economy. They understand that someone like myself with a technology background, where between AI, the threats that we have there, and the fact that technology is changing every job, every company, and every industry, I think they're understanding that having a kid that grew up in a small town, worked jobs where he took a shower at the end of the day, but went on and had this incredible career in technology is exactly what our country needs right now to lead us through the challenges that were coming. But that's happening on the ground. The support and positivity we're getting from people we meet in these early states is just incredible, and say thanks to all of them.
All right. North Dakota Governor and 2024 presidential candidate Doug Burgum. Governor, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks, Emma. Great to be with you.
You're welcome. Thank you.